So let's now try and modify this code. Let's firstly just go back to step 3. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use generative AI to give us a suggestion. Our client wants us to improve the readability, so why don't we just copy paste this code into generative AI and say, improve the readability. We could do that, but we now know more about technical prompting. Rather than just using these general words, improve the readability, why don't we pay attention to this code and understand why it is difficult to read? And then we can prompt the AI more precisely to improve the readability of the code. So when we look at this code, we can see that there is an if case and an else case. But in the else case, there is another if case, which itself has an if case and an else case. And we can see that this code is tricky because it is nested so much. Also, if you stare very carefully at this code, you do see some redundancy. You see, in this case, we set day equal to 1. And in this case, also, we set day equal to 1. Couldn't we do this just one time? Now, in this particular case, I am going to give a prompt that just focuses on the nesting. I literally highlighted this piece of code in my Visual Studio Code editor. And since I have GitHub Copilot installed, I opened up a little chat window and said, reduce nesting. So instead of saying improve readability, I was a little bit more precise about what I was unhappy with. And this is the change that my generative AI suggested. You notice that my code is less nested. Also, while improving the nesting, our generative AI has lifted that repeated, redundant piece of code outside this inner if-else condition and kept it here because it's recognized that this whole code could be made simpler. So sometimes you need to explicitly prompt your generative AI to make changes like this, but sometimes it just does it fine. So here is something much easier. If the day is less than the max day, very simple, we increase the day by 1. Otherwise, we have to be the first of the next month. And then the rest of the logic is just calculating what is that next month, and do you also need to increase the year by 1. That we would only do for December. Now personally, I think this code is easier to read. It would be even more easy to read if there were some helpful comments here. So why don't you try and write this code better? Use comments, perhaps rewrite the code in a simpler way that you find easier to explain and understand.